And what's up, everybody? Welcome to Juice Reviews. This is going to be a review series I'm going to do in 2015. They're going to be live. They're going to be kind of short. No gameplay footage, but this Terminator Juice, forgot to say that. Also, this is my microphone if you guys are seeing that. I got a boom arm, and so yeah, if you're just in case, I haven't really done a video with this setup yet, so if you're wondering, that's what that is. So yeah, this is going to be a review series. I'm going to like break it down by presentation, gameplay, content, depending on the game, challenge, and then overall do letter scoring. I will score each kind of category and then give my overall feelings. And yeah, so we'll see how this goes. Like I said, I didn't really want to record gameplay. I'd been off screen and do the editing stuff because, I just am lazy like that. So this is going to be the format. We'll see how it goes. And I don't have the Q&A open or anything. So this is going to be a short review. So anything you have to say or anything, leave it in the comments on YouTube once the video uploads. So we'll start. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker came out in 2014, December 5th here in the US. And other later in, I think Europe got it the first week of January. And it was a $40 game and a kind of a budget title. Had a short development cycle, but it was basically Super Mario 3D World. The levels, the Captain Toad levels from that expanded upon into a full-fledged game with like over 70 levels. And as 3D World is my favorite Wii U game, the best game this generation, I had really high expectations. So with those expectations in mind, the game didn't quite live up to what I was hoping to experience. Not a bad game. So we'll start with presentation, and I'm going to give that an A-. The graphics were really sharp. The lighting was improved over 3D World, actually, and it just has a really clean, colorful look, and it looks fantastic. But also part of presentation is just like the menu system and the layout of everything and the sound. The music's nice, but a lot of recycled music from 3D World, so I can't give it like high marks. It has a couple new songs and new compositions, but overall it's pretty much 3D World. The menu system is okay. You got 3 episodes, each with like 18 to 25 levels. They kind of broke it down into that. The first episode, you're playing as Captain Toad. The second level, you're all Toadette, and then the third episode you're playing a mixture. So it was decent, and then in the episodes was like a book, and you had to flip pages to get to the next levels. And then when you played the level, when you beat it, it told you what the challenge is, so you'd have to replay the level if you didn't complete the challenge on the first playthrough. It wasn't terrible, but it also was kind of simplistic, almost too simplistic. I wasn't expecting like a Super Mario 3D World, like 3D level overworld, but the book design was decent. But overall presentation, A-, really solid, and it was a well-made, well-put-together game. Next, we're going to talk about gameplay, which is the most important for any game, usually. This is more of a puzzle-like platformer. Gameplay isn't as crucial, but I'm going to give that a B overall. The controls are good, but Toad can't jump, so that's it doesn't knock the controls of the game. I'm not taking points off for that, but I'm just letting people know. The camera control is responsive, but the reason I put the gameplay at B is because the gyro controls, which were kind of a selling point of this game using the gamepad, are poorly implemented, in my opinion. If you really just wanted to use the gyro controls, let's say you were sitting in a chair, you could spin around. I actually tried this. You want to just like hold it up, you think the camera would pan, but really it pans more when you just tilt. And then when you tilt, you can't see the gamepad, like unless you're not playing off TV. But it just felt awkward. And then let's say you turn to the right, but it wasn't just quite enough. And with a mouse, you can kind of pick it up and then set it down and return or something. when you go back, it just turns the camera back. So you're just very limited on what the camera can do with the gyro. So basically you just have to use the analog stick. The gyro camera controls are pretty much a waste. The only time they're used, you know, well, I think is in the first person minecart like levels where you're throwing turnips. I think there's 3 of those levels. But you still got to use the analog stick because you can't turn fast enough with the gyro to aim and, you know, turn quick enough to get from here and then quickly get over here. You got to use the analog stick in conjunction with the gyros. So it didn't feel that great to me. So that's why I give gameplay overall a B. But you know, it's fun. You walk around, you got to run, which barely makes you run further. You know, another thing I didn't like was like every button makes you grab turnips, but then they also let the Y button turns on and off your headlamp, which a couple of the Shy Guy levels is a way to not be seen for some of the challenges. That also picks up turnips. It's like, why does that pick up turnips? That should just be to turn on and off your headlamp. And then you should have just a button if you just want to run without having the little attempt to grab, and which could be like B, and then make A your multi-purpose. It grabs and runs. I just feel it just felt weird that every button grabbed a turn, like pulled a turnip up and ran. It just didn't feel intuitive to me. And for those of you that don't know, the right trigger ZR will grab and run as well, which is nice when you're trying to manipulate the camera with the right analog stick and you need to run in the especially in the mummy maze levels. I didn't know that till towards the end, and that does make playing the game much more enjoyable because you can run and turn the camera at the same time very easily. I just didn't feel like the run button needed to be a grab button there, because there's times where you go to run and you're standing over some turnips or some coins or whatever, and it picks them up instead of just running right away. So just a few little things, but overall, gameplay was good. I enjoyed it. Next, we'll go to content. 70 plus levels sounded like a lot, but it really didn't feel like that many. I got 12 hours, 56 minutes, and I've completed every level, all 3 diamonds in every level, and all the challenges, minus the final mummy maze stage where you have to get 5,000 coins. So there's not a ton of content. So, you know, it's a $40 game. I considered that, but I'm going to give content a C+. A lot of the levels are super short and don't offer any replay value. I would say out of the 70 plus levels, there was at least 30 to 40 that I completed on the first try, the challenge as well. So, you know, there wasn't a whole lot of reason to go back and play. The levels just aren't that, like they're nice, they look nice, and some of them are really clever. But once you play them a couple times, then it's like there's nothing left to do. Like I'm trying to find the word exactly. It's like the wow factor wears off of a particular level, how they've designed it, and then it's just, okay, get to the goal. I've done it already. I've gotten the 3 diamonds already. I've completed the challenge. There's no reason to keep playing that level. So, so content was a little light for me. I would have, realistically, I would have thought, and I'm pretty sure this game was supposed to be DLC for 3D World. If it was like DLC, that would have been like a really good amount of content for DLC in the 20 to 30 price range. But as a full-fledged game, even though it's budget, still a little light for me. Don't even have 13 hours in and pretty much done with the game. Also with you know, gameplay and presentation, I guess I don't know where to put the level design themselves. There was some really clever designed worlds, and each level is like its own little world. Some are small, some are big. There was some really unique design choices. I thought a couple of them stood out. There's a lot that were just kind of forgettable, so I'm not sure where to put that. But next I want to talk about the difficulty or the challenge. You know, Nintendo games are known for having layers of difficulty. You know, you could just pick up and play 3D World and get to the end, most of the levels and be pretty easy. But you want to find the 3 green stars and the stamp. Then it becomes a little bit more of a challenge. And then if you want to do it in a quick time, because it keeps track of your best time, that offers some more challenge. And then if you want to do the bonus levels, then there's even more challenge there. With Captain Toad, really, it didn't even challenge me until the 3rd episode, about the 17th level, I think it was. There's a ghost house with this rising purple, the poison, whatever it's called, from the Mario series. And that one was challenging only because manipulating the camera while running, and there's a little trick to get in the 2nd gem that if you don't know, you're never going to figure it out. So that was the first time I actually felt challenged in the game, which was kind of sad that I was 3/4 of the way through. So I like a little bit more challenge. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, earlier this in 2014 was a very challenging game, and I like challenge. Bayonetta 2, I'm playing on 3rd climax, and I'm trying to get platinums on every chapter. That's a good challenge. Even Mario Kart 8 had some pretty challenging moments trying to get the 3 stars in the 150cc and 150cc mirrored. And I just feel like Captain Toad could have went a little bit more on the difficult side. They could have maybe bumped up, had another chapter. Maybe they'll have some DLC for this game or something, but the challenge wasn't there for me. And the only reason there was a couple hours added to my playtime was I was just really trying. One of the levels, it gives you a time at the end and says, okay, try to beat 120 seconds. And I forget, I think it's in episode 2. And I spent a good hour just trying to get the best time I could. And when I did, nothing happened. There was no way to acknowledge that or post that on Miiverse or have see what your friends' times were. I think that would have really added to that, the replay value and the challenge, if there was some incentive to keep playing and try to do levels quick, have every level have a time run or something. But so I'm going to give the challenge of the game a C grade, and it just didn't live up to what I like as far as challenge. And it'd be a good game for new gamers, beginners, people that aren't as skilled at platformers or something. This would be a good entry game for that. Yeah, I could see my niece who's almost 4, my nephew who's 6, playing this game and having a chance to be able to play it, but not the later levels, but the first episode, I wouldn't see them having too much problem. But an experienced gamer, you're going to blow through it pretty quickly. So next I'm going to give my overall score. And yeah, since this is live, if you're just joining, if you don't want to hear the overall score before hearing, I'm about to give the final grade and end this. So I talked about presentation. I'll recap. I gave that an A or A minus. Gameplay, I gave it a B. Content, a C plus. Challenge, a C. And my overall score for Captain Toad Treasure Tracker is going to be a B. And I think that's a solid grade for this game. I was hoping it was going to be an A. My expectations were going to be an A type game. But budget title, I know they made it pretty quick. It's solid game for sure, but not up to EAD Tokyo standards by any means. So, if you really I really love Super Mario 3D World. The Captain Toad levels were nice. They weren't my favorite part about the game, but I was still really anticipating a great game with Captain Toad, and I got a good game. So there's nothing wrong with that. I'm happy with it. I downloaded it digitally. I kind of wish I would have purchased the physical copy. Just felt like I would have had more for my money. For that $40, I would have had at least the package and the disc to, felt like more value there. I downloaded it digitally. I have nothing. I can never sell it, could never trade it in. Not that I do trade in Nintendo games ever, but I'm just saying I kind of wish I would have bought the package and had the physical game. I think I would have felt a little bit better about the value of it if I had done that. So, yeah, let me know in the comments below. What do you guys think? I know Bear Hugger, it was his favorite game of the year. He put ridiculous amount of hours into it. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I didn't hit 13, and I've completed everything but the very last challenge on the Mummy Maze level. So, yeah, that's my review of Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. And I will be doing more reviews like this in the future. They're going to be short. They're going to be quick, to the point. And, you know, I gave my game of the year in my Juices Loose episode, Bayonetta 2. I didn't actually review the game. I might do that, or I might just move forward with all the new games in 2015. The next one would be Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. So, yeah, look for that. And I hope you enjoyed this review. And like I said before, let me know in the comments how did you feel about Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, and that's it. So with that, we'll see you on the next video.